What is going on, my beautiful fairy collective? My name is Aya. I am a feminine mystic, and I am not here to take anything seriously, any of it. And I hope you don't either. Today, we are going to be doing a great reading um, that I started doing like when I put out the first monthly challenge, meditation challenge. Um, and that's still on. You guys are free to join me on the 15 days of meditation. Okay. Now, I do have a job that is short term, but I have to get up early for it. So we will have to be creative as to like when we could meet and meditate and work on the worksheets and all of that, but it's definitely still doable because it's only 15 minutes of meditation and we don't have to spend hours because it doesn't take that. And that's my point. It's like it doesn't really honestly um take a lot of complication in order to be in a state of well-being. It just takes consistency, okay? It takes consistency. Um, Today, right now, where are we? Where are we? We are doing what um your stuck energy has to say. Your stuck energy speaks is what I wrote. Okay, so we're going to take it by quadrants. We're going to do the head to to like the shoulders. So that'll be like your crown, third eye, and throat chakra for those of you guys who are chakra inclined. But some people just know that they feel tension in their shoulders. Now, I kind of want to talk about that before we get started. Um, some people know or and are in touch with the sensations of their body and are aware of where they're holding in their most stuck energies or whatever. And some people aren't. And so I recommend you doing this exercise real quick. Like, this is my hand. Tap your hand. This is my hands. These are my shoulders. This is my face. These are my thighs. These are my knees, and so on and so forth, because that helps you get into your body. Or if you know any other exercises that help you get into your body so that you can sense within your body where your stuck energy would like to be able to speak to you. Or you can just choose a quadrant. There's four intuitively. However you're drawn to this reading, this is new for me. I'm excited about it because, and this is going to be a longer intro. I'm sorry for those of y'all. You can just get straight to the readings if you want, but this is going to be because I just want to talk about it a little bit. Um, so my goal for my online community now is to create an online like meditation ashram type situation, to where we are gliding through working on our trauma, PTSD, healing from narcissistic family systems, and moving away from not feeling okay, basically, and how to do that, and giving you tools to do that, and even working with those of you who are of the shamanic um, type cast and the mystic typecast who would like to delve deeper and be trained into that. I have a tier called Divine Pussy for that in my Patreon. But you have to do at least one 15-day meditation with me first in order to join it. And that is on Patreon as well. And my goal is to find healthy, buoyant ways to talk about these stuck energies without becoming associated with them, without people feeling like this is who they are. Like with astrology, what is so dangerous about it for the human psyche, those are starting to hit, is that people go, this is what and who I am because of this placement. And the reason why I keep those videos up, because I have thought about taking them down, my old astrology videos, um, is because my way of reading and how I have used astrology even in my own life has been freeing. Okay. And so your true state of being is freedom. But a lot of people don't feel that. And so the only way you know something for sure in this experience that we're in is if you feel it, if you experience it. And so we get into the sensations, right? And I know that's very popular now, and I'm grateful that it is. But when I first started on this journey, I had to dig, search, and rummage through information um, to even find my path, find my way. It was very few and far between. Definitely no YouTube videos about it, you know. So I find myself to be always on the cutting edge. So just in 20 years, people will be dismounting astrology and it'll be more mainstream. I mean, people already do, but people will begin to realize that it's a spell and that it's not necessary. That's the thing. It's like no description needed. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. Just kind of like how we talk about I'm sorry, I have to get a new like cell phone sticky stick thing. I don't know why I always put a Y at the end of everything. Because this one broke. It's cheap. I got it from $5 below or whatever that store is called. But I'm gonna get a new one soon. Um, yeah, your story doesn't matter, which is why you do a trauma healing session with me. I let you rock and talk about your past, but I use it as a signpost because then I'm like, so where is that held in your body? Where are you holding that in your body? Now, what sensation? What does that feel like? Because that's what's most important. Because once you move that energy, then it gets the flow again and it stops being stagnant. You feel better. It's a release. It's magic. And you become that part of you will integrate with the other cells of your body that know and are alive within the living God, like the God consciousness within you. And just talking about these things brings me a whole lot of peace. But I do understand that a lot of people are at step one, you know, and they're ruminating. And so that's what these readings are for. And I don't, the challenge for me, I'm going to be honest, I'm sometimes at step one, but I'm most of the time like in a state of well-being, unless I'm going through like a really deep purge because of something I asked for, something that's in my destiny and it's time. for me to work on things because things don't come up to be healed all at once because it will really, really trip up your nervous system to get all that love that you're not used to pouring down into your nervous system. You wouldn't be able to move. It would be like a state of shock, and your whole life would change all at once, and you will probably die. And but death isn't death, like how we view it. It's actually really like freeing. You would get so free, you would transition. You would be like, peace, finally. But your nervous system, um, a lot of times our nervous system is set to a certain frequencies and the clearing those passageways because I was also looking at the meridians and stuff and how to read those, but that would be very complicated for a YouTube session. That would be more of a personal session. Um, so let's have some fun here, okay? So we have quadrant one. I started off with that. Head down to the shoulders, quadrant two, which will cover the heart chakra, the solar plexus, and the sacral chakra. That will be like your chest area to your lower back. So I want you to also feel the sensations in the front and the back and see where you're feeling these sensations and what your stuck energy has to say. We're going to get into the waist, the midsection, the buttocks, and the knees or whatever. So that would be your like your sacral um to your root chakra, and then the knees to the feet. That would be the foot. There's a such thing as a foot chakra. There's lots of which in Vedic mythology is the crown. They call that the heavenly area, not the crown chakra though. I mean like the castle, not the crown. The castle. The most positive energies are actually in your feet and in your hands. Sometimes when I'm working with people on trauma and I ask them where the sensations of the energies that they're speaking about is held in the body or the emotions that are coming up to be healed. Some people say their feet, and they're surprised by that. They're like, my feet? So, um, after you do a little exercise, that little exercise we did at the beginning, these are my hands, these are my hands, this is my head. We're not tapping. We're not getting into tapping for those of y'all who tap. We're not tapping. We're just kind of touching, acknowledging, becoming present, getting in the body. Okay. All right. So the interesting thing is I did write out the 12 meridians, but we're not. That's just kind of fun for me. I like all that stuff. I do have a certification in reflexology, so it's my bag. We're going to get into it though. Let's start at quadrant number one. Like I said before, that would cover the crown, third eye, and the throat chakra. But that could be any part from your head to your shoulders. Your stuck energy speaks. What does it have to say? I call on the divine, the mother goddess, who offers her loving support, nurturing energy, affection. I'm feeling very affectionate, like this deep love, but it's also very light and it's warm, like a motherly type energy over this reading. What goddess is this that's showing up? Um, I wanted to say Mother Mary, But I also just want to say Mother Earth, Mother Nature, just in general, the great mother of the abyss. She's she's fired up for this reading. Me too. I'm excited about it. Mm, she has some messages. It's time for you to ground yourself, ground your energy, ground your thoughts. For those of you in this quadrant number one, I'm seeing a sunflower between your ears, what you're listening to. Listen more to nature sounds. Sit by a brook, listen to the stream. Just like get into nature, listen to the wind. Everything has a voice that would like for you to listen. Everything is a symbol, a message for you. When your mind is cluttered, this is mental clutter, then you can't hear the voice of the divine, which is a voice of well being and unconditional love. Pennies, I don't know why pennies, pennies, scarcity. Mhm. So those of you who are thinking thoughts of scarcity, start appreciating the pennies that you find and that you pick up and that you see everywhere. Appreciate the small things. You have to appreciate where you're at to get more. All right. So some of you feel frustration mentally. You're agitated because it seems like you what you really want isn't appearing, isn't showing up, isn't happening for you. It's already done. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it or do anything about it. You just have to get into appreciative modes. And how you're going to do that is by sitting in nature more, listening to more wholesome sounds. Yeah. And she's saying you don't have to go far. You don't have to look very far. It's right on everything that is healing for you is right under your nose. So she's saying that because some of you feel like things have to be complicated, that you don't have the money to get a healing session or a sound healing session. You have to listen spiritual music. It's like all these things actually feed the negative vortex, and it grows and it gets more and more momentum, like the more frustrated you get. But if you can simplify um, and use wisdom and simplify what you think you need to do in order to get into the mode where you're receiving the things that you want. I want you guys to know that you are naturally in receiving mode all the time. Receiving mode isn't just that 0 point neutrality, God consciousness. You're always receiving because you are God, because you are a creator. That's the exciting part, that you're a creator. The not so exciting part sometimes is that once you start knowing and taking responsibility, it's like whatever's showing up is coming from me. I did this. That's not so fun sometimes to recognize, because then it's like, so, like, how the hell do I get out of this? Like, I don't like this, you know. How do and those questions are good. Those questions are good because you will get the answer. Ask, ask, ask. and you shall receive. Knock, and the door shall be open. The only way you will change is if you ask, really. Because if you try to white knuckle and just pretend like you're cool, you know how everybody likes to play it cool, like nothing's bothering me, but everything's bothering you because your face, your head hurts, because I'm seeing someone that's so with so much tension mentally that your head is hurting, migraines here, you know, um, carrying. When I started talking about the head and the shoulders, a lot of people hold stress in their shoulders and their upper back, most definitely. Holding the world on your shoulders, thinking that you are the one that has to make things expand or make things fructify. I love fructify. To make things grow, to make things happen, and that's not the case at all. The truth is that you emit a frequency, and and it comes back to you. That's really all the work you are doing. I have nothing else for you. That's really it. That's all the work you're doing. And the only way to know that for sure is to give it a try. You will have to like do some purging of your ego by participating in what I'm saying right now. This is why I offer a 15-day meditation monthly so that you can experience this. If you have never meditated consistently, and I mean, because we get in our spiritual pride bag, and I'll do readings for people, and I'll the message will be, you need to meditate more. You need to have some quiet. You need the quiet. I do, and people always say I do, but I know um, that a lot of people say they do, they're not. They're not really consistent, and they're not really truly meditating for real. You know, and y'all know whether you are or not. Like for me, I'm trying to think how many days has it been since I really truly last meditated. Um, because the days just um today, Sunday. I didn't meditate all last week, I don't think, except maybe like one day. And that's rare for me now. And just me laying in my hammock and stuff, that's not meditation. I know what it feels like when I'm in meditation mode, you know. And I'll also say this, just relaxing and staring at the sky, and that's a form of meditation, you know. And it can get you in the mode that you're looking for. So that because you need to get in that receive that a certain type of well-being receiving mode in order to start asking for the things that you want, and then it'll start showing up faster for you in the frequency that you want it to show up. Okay. um like all those things help, like sitting in water, taking spiritual baths, just sitting out in nature. And I do a lot of that, but I'm talking about true blue, sitting down on my mat with my eyes closed, with the intention and I have to turn on my timer, set it for 15 minutes, it's already set, and sit and meditate and not think and not try to fix anything or make anything happen, and just sit. And it's clearing. It's a clearing that happens. It clears the way. is silence inside. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Crystals will help someone getting into your crystals. I had taken my clear crystal quartz. I'm looking at my crystal, taking my clear crystal quartz with me the other day because it was calling to me. But now I can't find her. I'm like, is she in this bag? Where's my crystal? I hope I didn't what but anyway, let's get started. I think that's all the messages for now. And they want me to start off with my 72 Angels of God Consciousness deck. This is your stuck energy speak. Quadrant number 1, the crown, third eye, throat, the head, the shoulders. Your stuck energy speak. It's an interesting reading. If your stuck energy could speak, what would it say? Quadrant number 1. Okay, angel number 7. Angel 7 is about patience. Okay. Angel 7 is A K A or Akaya. The forbearing God. Patience. Okay. Quadrant 1, if your stuck energy could speak, what would it say? The God of Trinity. My primary mission is to become better. Mission. Patience. Mission. The God of Trinity. Angel 41. Ha ha hell. Angel 7, Angel 41, and then Angel number 1, the exalting God. Will and new beginnings. Angel number 1 is Veshuaya. Okay. I see if your stuck energy could speak. This is interesting because usually stuck energy has like history of your trauma. You know, it's usually your inner child connected to it. It's usually memories of the past and things that are unknown to the conscious mind. So this is interesting. It's like you've been waiting your whole life for so many things. Your mission to unfold. It's like you've been stuck in a holding pattern. And it looks like you've been trying to go about doing your mission on your own strength because you haven't been able to connect and get in touch with like God consciousness, like God energy, your life force energy is wound up. Wow, this lion is coming out to me, and it looks sad. And so it's like you've been in a cage to where you haven't been able to, it's like you're very courageous. I was going to say creative. You're a very courageously creative person, but you haven't been like showing it. It hasn't been lived. You haven't been truly living. And you think about all of your ideas all the time, but rarely do you do anything with them. You don't feel support. You don't feel that inner bond and connection to the divine. And the reason why I keep saying that, because all I keep hearing is that you've been looking for support from the outside world. Like, of course, we want support from our family. That is so normal. And I have so much compassion for that. And so does the mother nature has a lot of compassion for you, for what you experience, the lack of support, the lack of encouragement. And it just feels like you've been healing for a long time. And that's like the only thing that you can do. And you're kind of like tired of being in like a healing space. The other message that I'm getting, the positive thing, is that it's time for you to get out of that healing space and get moving. The thing is that you, though, is that it's new to you. Like you showing the world your true courageous lioness power, your creativity is new to you. And so you still might be experiencing like a lot of self-doubt. And what I'm seeing is that maybe this has been going on for like years, to where you will pop in and pop out. Like you'll show up, you'll start a project, you'll start to show who you are, and then you'll like pull back because you end up, this is, some people know this and some people don't. So I'm going to explain this to you. If you come from a dysfunctional, like narcissistic family system or something of the like, it could be any type of dysfunctional family system where you're not held in high esteem for who you really are. You're asked to, so even if it's unspoken, to put your true self and what you want aside and put other people first, creating like codependent type um, inner world, to where you only feel worthy of love if you are like overly doting, giving, supportive, or whatever. Um, my long explanation sometimes, and plus all the messages that are coming to me at once, make me lose train of thought. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But right now it is. It's almost like I'm high, but I'm not. I'm not. Um, yeah, you were asked to put your mission to the side for others. You feel shame whenever you put yourself first and you do what you want to do. And whenever you start to do what you want to do, that shame comes up to be healed, and it seems to knock you out. And how you are to handle this, instead of stopping, and you do stop if you need to, if it's too intense, be kind and gentle to yourself, be compassionate, but love up on yourself. Don't allow yourself to not feel hugged, supported, loved, and encouraged anymore. And a good way to have those energies in your life more and more and more every day is to spend a lot of time in nature, a lot of time by the beach, by the water, in a forest, wherever you can get it, just looking up at the sky, watching the animals. They're really great teachers. Mother Nature and her team, of nature spirits and animal spirits are really great, like supportive team members to us humans, and they teach us so much. And they are generous with their energy because they never lose connection to the divine. They're always like um connected to source. And so therefore they have like unlimited love, you know. That's why nature is so amazing, beautiful to tap into. Um, okay. Let's pull some more cards. If you stuck energy could speak, what would it say? We got through that. I actually feel better. That's I didn't know how these readings were going to go. I know I was kind of tapping into when I ask that question to people when I'm in session with them and what that usually is like. Like I said before, it's usually like a history inside of those wounds and memories that are connected to situations that people have long forgotten about. People be like, I didn't even know that mattered to me that much. I hadn't remembered that. I never think about that. And so usually it's like really surprising what the inner child and the subconscious mind has to say and what frees you, you know. All very interesting. That's why I love it so much. It's so abstract and I never know what's going to happen in each session. Um, Pretty fun for me to watch everyone connect and grow. Quadrant number one for your head. All right. Quadrant making stuck energy could speak. What would it say? Okay. Rainbow tightrope. So some of you feel really stressed out because you feel like we were talking about this earlier. You feel like you are like having to control like your thoughts and like you're like I have to do this and that. It's like a list and it's hard work for you to stay focused and like stay positive. Um, and you're also kind of like still in that wound of people pleasing. I'm seeing to where who you are, what your image is, and some of you are moving out of this. In the past, who you were and what your image was had to do with what other people wanted you to be for them in order to make them happy. Now, like I said, this is new for you. You have already reprogrammed yourself. So congratulations for those of you who have graduated past that point to where it's really severe. It's not so severe. So part of this reading I'm seeing is about you acknowledging how far you've come and that maybe you might be hyper vigilant because you're used to being hyper vigilant. And hypervigilance is when you're like overly sensitive and like maybe um, too alert of when you're triggered. It's like it could be the situation could be a 2, but you make it out to be a 10, and it's urgent. and you feel like you're suffering or suffocating and having a panic attack because something is reminding you of when you were in a really bad place. But at this time, it looks like you're more free to move forward. Then it's kind of like a cage, a cage bird. When you open a cage, they might sit there for a bit and be like, "Am I free? Well, I'm used to sitting here." And so they just keep the door open and you can come out whenever you want. That's where you're at. It's like so I pulled also Avatar in the City. This is my deck, guys, that you can find on my website. And this is the title track. This is the title called Avatar in the City. I really for the head, the crown, the third eye, and the throat chakras, paying attention to her afro, like her crown and glory, her hair, you know, um, and you being yourself. It's coming under that angel 41. My primary mission is to become better, and better is relative, right? So maybe in the past you were told that better was being rich by any means necessary and working hard. What I'm seeing is you having to talk about things that aren't really that important to you, things you don't really value. You know, it's like this rainbow tightrope is calling out to me. It's like you're having to live in two worlds at once still, maybe. Some of you aren't, like some of you are no contact. You set your boundaries and you refuse to not live in your truth. And that is leaving you feeling kind of like when am I going to meet my soul tribe? Okay, yeah. And then some of you might have jobs, work in a corporate world, or just have to be around people where it feels like you have to politic and like maybe try to fit in, or you might fall back into old habits of trying to fit in and you're trying to navigate. You know who you are, you love who you are, you accept yourself. But like we were talking about in the beginning when I was channeling, um, grounding this energy, grounding your relationship with yourself. If you've been spending a lot of time hermiting, that's what I'm getting. It's time for you to come out. It's about to be time for you to come out, as far as like showing the world. And it's not about showing the world, but it's about your mission. You're getting into your mission now. And you're a brand new being. You're giving birth to your new self. But some of these old energies will come back to haunt you, of course, because you're calibrating now. All right. So swimming through the galaxy came out, swimming through the galaxy, along with fjords and amethyst. Okay. So swimming through the galaxy came out reverse, which lets me know that sometimes you're like, you don't feel in alignment. You don't feel like you get to, because the fjords and amethyst is about like R&R, like rest and relaxation time, like really deep, getting away, getting. I was researching the fjords when I was making this card, and a lot of ships dock in fjords, and because they're not going to be bothered, even though the temperature on a lot of these the temperature in fjords is really cold, and the water is really heavy and dense, and not a lot of species of plant or animal can survive the climate of a fjord. But you'll see a lot of boats dock there because it's just kind of like a lot of solitude. It's very quiet. Um, it's safe, you know, and it's like This is saying that when you get triggered, when you get out of alignment, just go back to your quiet. Go to your corner. Go spend time in nature. This is what this whole reading is about. It's like you might feel like you should know better, you should have it all together. But you're gonna always need God and need to spend time with God. That's never gonna be not the case. You're gonna always, because we have eyes and ears, and there's like lots of different options, right? We can tune to different frequencies because we are kind of like satellites. We pick up everything. It's not your fault. It's no one's fault. It's like it's not something that you're doing wrong. Um, you're constantly refining and defining what your values are based off of what you're experiencing. And that's no judgment in that. And that's actually why you're here. It's like you're here to experience something new from your perspective. That's it. And that's why this is not serious. None of this is serious. Seriousness is a symptom of the ego when the ego is focused on an idea, on that it has to have something the exact way that it wants it. That's so serious, right? And when it doesn't happen, it gets out a tantrum and anger and it's like seriousness is part of the illusion, okay? Because reality is peace and joy and buoyancy and kind of building and then destroying, and that being fun. And it's not supposed to be serious until you start having to be something in order to make other people happy. And what you have realized is what makes you happy. You've done the work. You do know. Now you're grounding that in the outside world and how to communicate that, how to live it, how to dress it. um where do you want to live? Like you have all these choices now because you've cleared away a lot of energy. There's just some stuff that is still coming up to be healed. And some of you would like to know, is the process ever over? Is the processing ever over? Yes. The parts of you that are healed are actually healed. The parts of you that are unknown yet to be healed, well, then you don't have to worry about those parts. See, the key here is to have fun and enjoy where you're at right now. That's why people always talk about being in gratitude, right? You want to appreciate where you're at today in this moment because that's really all you got. And then you have the next moment when the next moment comes. You don't really have to try to beat out time and get to the next moment. For what? You don't even know what to do with where you're at right now. And that's okay. You're always like um in the mode of listening. Like, what's next? What do I do and what do I say? I don't. And that's okay until you do know, until you figure it out what works for you. You just don't know. And that's supposed to be part of the fun. But um, because we're in a rush, in a hurry to look good in front of our fellow humans for some reason or another, we have to have it all figured out right now by a certain age or in a certain way, and it has to be a certain way. We get, you know. But it's not until you can let that go will you truly be all the way free. And this is what's clearing out. And it's going to take time because it took many lifetimes for you to become ignorant. You didn't start off that way. You're an ancient soul, right? And so you're going back home. You're going back home and you're swimming through the galaxy. But you do have the knowledge that you are an avatar in the city and that you are a wise soul. You're an ancient being. And honestly, that's all you need to know. That you are one with the creator and you are a creator and you are creating your experience and you're going to be okay. Everything's okay because of that. That's your security. That's your safety net always. And you know that. The thing is that when you get out of alignment, you forget for a little bit. And then you're like, whoa, whoa, where am I? Who am I? What is this? What's happening? I'm being oppressed. Somebody called a popo. The fun police is swirling around. People are coming for me. I'm about to fight. Somebody get my baby. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about my one of my little sisters. Um, she called me once and she was outside on a corner, groceries on the ground, baby on her hip. And she was like, we were talking, and she's like, I gotta go. I'm about to fight. And I'm like, and many moments like that with her. Like, I gotta go. My boyfriend wife just came home and I'm in the bathroom and she just found out I'm here. I'm about to fight. Love it. Funny to me, but yeah, triggers, right? Triggers. It's like I'm about to put my baby down. I'm about to fight, you know. And so when you get to that point, fjords and amethyst, don't fight. Put your baby down to sleep, but don't put your baby down on the corner. Right? Because there's always, I'm finding that if you are patient, like the first angel, the forbearing God, if you are patient, when you get into this space of whether you feel scarcity, where you're scared, you're fearful that everything's not okay, we don't like that feeling because it's not really who we are and it's not the truth. That's why. Um, then it's not the time to panic. Be patient, ask for guidance, get into a state of well-being by spending time in nature, and clear your energy first. Clear your energy and ask, like, okay, what is the highest and best good? What is the highest and best way for me to handle this? And you should be safe and sound again in no time. Okay. I hope this reading has been good for you. It's been amazing for me. This is actual. You guys are my first one ever. I look forward to more, and I will definitely see you guys next time. Okay. So quadrant number 2 is going to be the chest area, the back area, the heart chakra, the solar plexus. Okay. And I'm going to burn some incense. Okay, my incense went out. Quadrant number 2. If your stuck energy could speak, what would it say? Let that burn a little bit. Quadrant number 2. If your stuck energy could speak, what would it say? Believe in me. Believe in me. Get into your feelings. Okay. There are some people that are like teddy bears. You're soft like a teddy bear, but you act hard, like cold hearted. When you allow your heart to become cold, you end up in kind of trauma bonding or volatile relationships. It's like I'm seeing someone hurt, feelings are hurt, and they're blocking people from getting close to them. And it's not personal, but people take it personal. And I'm not saying this is you or anyone. This is a symbol of something. All right. And so I'm seeing the expression of anger, of hurt, and of pain, but really nothing else. And I'm seeing numbness here. I'm seeing just blank face, um, no true happiness getting through, coming in, and or letting out because a refusal to talk about, speak up about what has caused pain. And that's not easy to do. And Mother Nature, the divine, has compassion for you for what you've been through in your childhood or in past lives with lovers, um, being treated with violence, also being violent yourself. I'm just seeing a lot more emotional violence than anything, yelling, arguments, disagreements, learning. You're like learning how to express your feelings. And also, so this area here has to do with confidence and the heart. Well, a lot of times, if people shut off their heart, they go into their head. So maybe the first quadrant might help you out as well. You know, I'm hearing that someone needs to eat more fruit. I don't know. I'm seeing oranges. Have better experiences, sweeter experiences, more fun experiences. All right. So what I'm seeing is like this type of energy, like hmm, you know, like when someone's heart's closed, they don't necessarily allow fun in or out, like no self-expression, flow of emotions, um, spontaneity, you know. And so what I'm hearing is that you need to put yourself in situations, more situations where you can actually have fun, or else you're gonna always just be like, watching other people have fun and maybe like being critical of it or something. I don't know. Go dance, go sing, be merry. My card, Foodie Mukbang, just came to my mind from my deck. All right, quadrant number 2. If your stuck energy could speak, what would it say? Hmm. Heartbroken. Like I said, someone's acting tough, but they're really a sweetheart. Okay. So the first card, falseness, enemy reverse, money reverse, and sweetheart. Okay. So the message that I'm getting from this is that when you're not in your true loving energy and you withhold love from from others and just in your life in general, you're like putting yourself in a state to where you're not receiving all that you deserve from life. And and it's because of a lack of trust in life, because of some of the things you've been through. Like I heard heartbreak, heartbroken like at a young age in your childhood. There's lots of ways and reasons I'm seeing that your heart's been broken and your trust hasn't been breached, you know, by people that you love and care about the most. And these are some of the things that are hardest for you to talk about and feel into, just understandable. But if your stuck energy could speak, it will want you to get your feelings out, because it wants you to know that there's like a whole world of sweetness, like the oranges I was saying. There is sweetness in life, and when our heart's broken, we just can't fathom it and see it. You know how some people talk who don't feel love. Like these people ain't, and this person ain't that, and it's like you start to put blockages and discriminate and block yourself off, and you become bitter and you talk like you're bitter, you know. So some of this is connected to your throat, the heart and throat, you know. And what I'm hearing about the solar plexus, for those who energies are stuck in the solar plexus, that's such a blind spot. It can be a whole reading on itself of itself. You might not be confident in who you are and how you show up in the world, and you're not even sure how you're coming across, how people feel about you, and what to do about it. And your lines might get crossed a lot because people might take your defensive energy personally. And a lot of times, this is what I'm seeing is happening. Like you're protecting yourself, basically, but you're protecting yourself from something that's not happening right now. That's the issue. You're not present. So that's why this falseness. This is false. It's an illusion, and you become like your worst enemy, and you experience a lack of love, a lack of joy, connection. All right. I think we get it. You're crying out for love and acceptance. And you would like to feel connected to your soul tribe, a community, to a person. Quadrant number 2, if your stuck energy could speak, what would it say? Hmm. Believe in yourself. And so a lot of times with stuck energy, we often focus our energies outwardly, like we want someone to believe in us. We want someone to accept us. We're looking for acceptance. And what ends up happening with stuck energy is that you see that in the representation of how you feel on the outside of you everywhere. You cannot escape it, and it feels like it's like haunting you. And so then it makes you just feel like staying inside, kind of like maybe agoraphobic. That's what I'm saying. Where you're afraid to interact with people. Um, and then people take that personally as well. It's like you can't win, right? Yeah, I understand. I understand that. Angel 27, Irathel, propagation of light, expansion of light, the preventing God. That's interesting. Angel 62, Ayahel, God, the highest being, desire to know, the acquisition of wisdom. God, the highest, the preventing God, God, the highest being. In Angel 38, God, the hope of all the earth, ritual and ceremony can acquire all the treasures of heaven. Um, Angel 29, Rael, the expected God, connection to spiritual guides, focus on the self. Okay. Liberation, deliverance from enemies, both visible and invisible. So, what I like about these readings so far is that your stuck energies are telling a story of where you started and where you're at right now. Okay. So, what I'm seeing is that you started off in a place where you were fake, basically. And maybe you ran into a lot of fake people as well. And you felt like you met a lot of frenemies maybe and not really true friends, and you were getting like kind of volatile um arguments with people like that you let close to you. And so then you decided to stop the flow of energy and learn to love yourself. And maybe some of you are there in that, it looks like you're still there in that space, and that's where you're headed to where you're focusing on being sweet to yourself. That's all. That's good. That's really, really good. I'm so proud of you for figuring that out. Some of you, okay, so this process is it's a bumpy road because you still have to live your life and you still have these relationships sometimes, and trying to navigate while you're healing, or else you're just going to be by yourself. And that's a thing to where until you can trust yourself to be good to yourself when it comes to the decisions that you make in order to to live a life that is fulfilling for you emotionally and it does not cause you harm, then you just kind of keep all of your sweetness to yourself. That makes sense. But that's not what you want. That's the fake part where you're holding back and you don't want to hold back. You really want to show love, but instead um you try to see the negative in people so you don't, it's like you look for a reason not to show love. That's what I'm trying to say. So that you don't get hurt. because you really, really, truly want people to get to know you. You want you want a relationship with someone that cares to get to know you. That's your goal. That no one really cared to know who you really are. No one tried to understand you. And you've been searching around for a while trying to find that person subconsciously, even. And you've come to the realization that what's most important is that you understand more power, the most power in that. So this is where your lines are getting crossed, where you're still kind of rummaging around in this wound in the dark. That the God within you is the highest being. No one on the outside. If you don't owe anyone anything, if someone gives you off vibes, even if you are projecting, it's okay to stay away. It's also okay to state your boundaries in a loving way. Because I'm seeing here you not being sure of when to put up your boundaries, what to say, how to say it. And all that stuff is solar plexus type energy to where you're like learning how to be a part of life, the community, learning to be communal, and also seeing that learning that you have something to say, you have something to offer that's valuable. But learning and figuring out how to get your point across and who to value, but mostly valuing yourself is part of the healing this wound. I knew it. Interesting. If your wounds could speak, what would they say? So we have the social shaman. And the reason why I said I knew it, because I saw this card while I was shuffling, and I kind of felt this energy of your true desire, honestly, is to be a leader, a teacher, a healer, or just be a part of like a commune type energy, to where everyone is valued and is sharing in the energies of connection to love, to spirit, to nature, you know. And it came out reversed for some reason. And oftentimes when I do love reading for people, when I use my card, this is my deck, the Avatar in the City deck. If the guy is a dark sided masculine, this card comes out. Or if he's a manipulative, dark sided masculine, that card comes out reversed. And so we have the clotting of the wound. This is like what is this? I forgot the name of the strawberry. This mushroom. It's not a strawberry. The bleeding mushroom is used to clot wounds, and this came out reversed. So it looks like what's coming up in your wound is that sometimes you might go back to toxic, manipulative people and situations because you're trying to work through this wound. And they reopen this wound and you end up in like drama all over again, even though you know better. But that's part of healing though. So a lot of times we titrate back and forth in our healing process, and this is normal. Um, because it gets lonely, to be honest. And that's what I was seeing too. A lot of a feeling of loneliness is that, and I don't want to call you codependent because you feel lonely, because you're human. It's like I don't really feel like that's necessary to say you're codependent because you can't go at it alone, all like 100% cold turkey. But also this social shaman card lets me know that you are a higher spiritual being, meaning that you're older and more developed and more is expected of you as far as you being a teacher here. And so you might be called to actually be by yourself. Most of the time, um, people who are shamans can't find a healer that can help them. That's by design. Um, the best medicine comes from a person that is the medicine. It's like when you allow your healing process between you and God and you master yourself, nothing more powerful than a healer that have been through it. You know what it's like when you speak, you know what you're talking about, and you have felt every single last inch of it down to the bone. You have felt every inch of this wound and you're an expert on it. You're a scientist with it. That's really what you're called to do, is to really turn that dark-sided, negative, critical resentment, men ain't ish, women ain't ish, you can go from that to just being a goddess and a god of love, whatever. And people watching that transformation and maybe even watching you find the one after you've been so, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that you just been completely closed off and you're not kind, and because I do see that you're kind, you're generous, you're open, you share, but you're fake. You have been. Even within your kindness, you're still not being yourself. You're still hiding yourself. You're still not truly um, feeling into your life because of things that need to be felt. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you fake like that. But I'm just saying that it's possible to be to have the posture and because that other people need love and kindness, but you're not open to receiving it. You closed yourself off, and nobody really knows who you are, and you feel like nobody really knows you, and you feel lonely. That fake is what I'm talking about. Okay. Um. Okay. So the third eye. So these are so this God, the hope of all the earth. It's like you have a vision that, and you can see like the ritual and ceremony and the connection. Like you can see like the love that you want, and you're actually are to keep that vision in mind every day, all day. Imagine it, what you would want your life, your lover, your community, your business, like the love you want to pour into it, the love you want to see and become. Do imagine it, envision it, know it. It's like you know it. You know love. You are a being of love, and you're just purging the experience of not being loved. But you had to understand that experience in order to be a teacher and a healer. Daughters of Isis. Another, so we have the masculine and feminine here, and they both came out reversed. So you have a hard time giving and receiving here. And this is both about community. The Daughters of Isis is about the feminine aspect of community and about women empowering each other and seeing the goddess in each other. Because this is a goddess on a stripper pole, right? And the other goddess is, there holding her up. And the reason why I like that card is because, and in a love reading, usually this is when I pull that card when I'm doing my love readings for people. If it's for a woman, the guy is really, really sexually attracted to the woman that I'm reading for. Like he thinks she's like there's a lot of sexual energy towards her, a lot of attraction towards her. Now, I never really have pulled this reverse, but if it's pulled reverse, this is like toxic femininity. Like I was saying before, like there's this energy of not being able to balance, not feeling balanced and whole in your heart space when it comes to relationships. Not trusting that your needs are going to be met, not trusting that you're going to be secure, not trusting. And so these things, even though you are a being of love and you come from um, a planet, a frequency, it's like you're a very ancient soul. You're dealing with all sides of the toxicity of love and on this planet so that you can embody it to its fullest out when you finally, because this is a lot of energy here actually to try to balance out. Like you might be a very androgynous person to where you deal with both the masculine and the feminine here. I kind of feel for you. It's like energies that you didn't receive the love that you needed from your mom. Your dad may have been like it's like people were there, but they were toxic. They weren't fulfilling their role because they were immature and not capable of being there for you. I need to get my charger. Hold on. Yeah, yeah. They weren't able to really fulfill their obligation and relationship to you, and so you're having to be your own mother and your own father. And I forgot to mention the 15 days of meditation started on the 15th of every month. Join on Patreon if you would like. I also have a tier called Divine Pussy for those or who are shamans in training and who would like extra time, energy, support, worksheets, whatever. Um, look that up on Patreon. That just came to mind. Okay. So, all right. So, what I'm seeing from this pile is that y'all are in the thick of a really deep shamanic healing process that's going to lead you to being um, a very deep leader, spiritual leader, and maybe start your own community. And you have to know how to deal with drama with people in order to do that, like in a loving way. And you aren't getting off focus no matter what happens or what drama or cases you that come up in your life or soul tie relationship that's coming up. This is very much so the power of love right now, of relationships. um you keep that no matter what you've gone through and what you're going through, you like know why you're going through it is what I'm seeing. You're like, this is just part of my origin hero story or whatever. But it is a lot. I'm also seeing that. It is a lot. Okay. I'd like to offer you my personal services. If you would like to reach out to me, feel free on my website. It is in the description, ayabellana.com. And I'll see you in the next one. All right, now it's time for quadrant number 3. Quadrant number 3 is the waist down to the knees. So we're dealing with the sacral chakra and the root chakra. The sacral and the root. Okay. Quadrant number 3, the sacral and the roots. Thank you, Spirit. What I will say so far about these readings that I'm excited to do them and I have energy while I'm doing them. Because when I do other readings on YouTube or whatever, I don't really be haven't been into it that much. But I know that I'm I'm here to connect with you guys. So I've been trying to find out my way of doing that for a while now. I would say some months since I started feeling better after my accident. But anyway, I'm enjoying myself. I knew I would once this idea got downloaded to me. But quadrant number 3, any messages for the sacral and the root chakra, clearing out the energy from the past reading, the lower back, midsection, thighs, and knees. If you're stuck energy, you could speak, what would it say? I can move mountains. Deep seated, get into me, making money, ministry, making moves, finding meaning. So, all right, in this quadrant, the messages that I'm picking up is that it's like you've been sitting still, not moving. It's like you need to move your energy. You need to move your body. You need to move your energy. There are money concerns because it's like you can't feel how to connect to your flow of abundance. And like I always say, it's really hard to focus on anything else if your abundance isn't worked out. And sexual energy is coming into play here, like a sexual wound here. It's like mm, people getting into you or you getting into others sexually without you being known first and using sex as a way to be known is what I'm getting, or as a way to bond and connect. And it leaves your energy kind of stagnant and not moving. And you're not creating the family or the lifestyle. And so it's like this wound is like, I'm so hurt, I can't move. It's like a comatose type energy, like inertia is what I'm sensing. And what the goddess is saying to the way to heal, get healing in this wound is to move your body, like walk, stretch, yoga, get into your body, twist, move. Okay, it's time to get moving, is what I'm hearing. For some reason, this death card is coming up, and it's not for the usual reason. And it's because there's like this sensation like I'm alive, but I'm dead. Wow. And I never really pulled this card when I pull this deck, but I'm seeing the what is that thing? The timer with the sand. What's it called? And so, hmm, what's coming to me is that you feel like time is running out for you to do what you want to do in your life. Like maybe some of you are up there in age and you might feel like you can't be and do what you want to do. And you've dealt with like a lot of jealousy in your life, and there's things that have gone sour that were good, and it looks like love here. Like the last relationships you've been in, or the deepest one, it really made you feel like not believe in life anymore, like giving up on life. And maybe this person taking away their love, or you having to leave their the relationship. And I'm honestly picking up that this was a long time. Like this is not recent. This is like a deep wound that's been there for a while that needs to be dealt with in order for you to move forward. And you might it's like you're living on top of it, but you know you feel dead inside. And you know your inner it's like you don't act like this, but this is what's going on. Okay, this is what's going on inside quadrant three. Because speak with the death card coming out. Yeah, wow. So it might be even the death of a partner. So we have death and merriment, but it came out reversed. It's like um the loss and then the widower. So the loss of also okay, so what's coming to me too is that it's gonna be even a loss of a honeymoon stage. Some of you, this is like long term, a loss of a long term relationship, and that really depleted you of your energy. It wasn't balanced, and then some of you have rapid fire honeymoon stages. You know, like you get into relationships really fast, and they die, and as soon as the honeymoon stage is over, you find out that this is a toxic situation. And this is having to do with your um what's happening in your sacral chakra energy here. What I'm picking up for some. Okay. I don't know why I went back to this deck, but I'm back in it. So let me go. Quadrant number three. Yes. All right. Sadness. I'm picking up on this sadness. Now, this quadrant I'm very familiar with. Okay. So a lot of energy is stuck in the lower back here from childhood trauma. This could be a loss of parents, the loss of security. Because a lot of times it's not money that makes us feel secure at all. It's our relationships, how we relate to them. how they relate to us. Um, if we feel encouraged, because when you feel like somebody has your back, you feel like you have everything you need a lot of times. It's like I can do anything, and the abundance can spring from that. But when you never had that, or the person was toxic or caused, but I'm not picking up necessarily this abuse, because and it could be there, but what I'm picking up is like just like this I never had type, or a loss type of thing right now. The baby, I saw the baby when I was it was reversed. The baby when I was open up the middle of the deck, but it's next to sadness. So maybe someone, heaven forbid, I don't really like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to say this on YouTube, spirit. All right. Loss. Okay. We're thinking about loss here. And this also I'm picking up could just be a wound from when you were a baby. This because what I was hearing, and I'm glad this is coming up again, abandonment. Someone having an abandonment wound in this area of the body. Maybe you were adopted, or and it could be because someone died. uh, And so what I'm seeing is someone who, okay, house, like who longs for family connection, and who have had to make do without feeling secure. And so that could lead to perfectionism, overworking, being a workaholic even. Just always scrambling to find security, trying like scrambling to find connection, and then it not being enough. That's scary. That's a scary feeling. It's like you can never work enough, have enough, be enough, do enough. Okay, abandonment wound. And no matter how much you accomplish, because I'm seeing some really high accomplishments here, you're still sad. The sadness. And sadness is a emotion and sensation that if you feel into the sensation of it, not get wrapped up in the emotion of it, like the drama of the emotion. Allow yourself to sense the sensation of sadness. Where is that in your body? And when you get down to the bottom into it, it's really a feeling of being out of control. It's a feeling of being out of control. So, growing up in your life, there are things that it's just like, first of all, overwhelming because it's out of control. And then it's like an overwhelming sense of being out of control to the point to where it feels like nothing's going to be okay. And you're not sure if you're going to make it. And that's that feeling of feeling I'm running out of time. Because sometimes when you have that abandonment wound with that sadness and feeling out of control, you could be 21 years old and feel like I'm too old to get started in my career. It's like you start having this traumatic response to being alive, like nothing's everything is a catastrophe all the time, you know. And so if you always feel like nothing's ever going to be okay, then that's the perspective that you have. It doesn't matter how old you are, you feel like I'm too old to do this because it just feels like, what is that spirit? What is it? Show me how to express that to get through to this wound to help it speak. Okay. Inner and outer work helps one keep their job, protects against. Okay. Angel 36, Menadel, the honorable God. It's like you didn't feel protected against disaster. And you feel like maybe at a young age you had to start working to take care of everyone. It's a lot of energy. Angel 24, Haguhaya, God the good in himself. Protection prevents discovery of secret crimes, saves exiles. All right. So it's like you didn't really have the foundation of having a normal childhood, a normal home, a normal existence, whatever that means. Angel 18, Kaliel, the invocable God, justice, makes the truth known. So there's like a lot here about the truth, secrets. Angel 28, Sihaya, God who took evil, longevity, protects against infirmities. So you've been protected a lot in your life. Angel 21, the only God, Nel Shael, desire for knowledge, protects from liars, evil spells, and bad spirits. Okay. Foster care is coming up, adoption, um, not knowing who your parents were, teenage pregnancy is showing up, like your world. It's like you began your shamanic journey from birth. It's like you haven't had a chance to sit and breathe. Not when you were a kid. What I'm seeing is your wounds, your inner child is like, set me free. I want to be free from this. Because the sensation inside is overwhelming. It's an overwhelming sensation. And you work a lot. At first it was for survival. And now it's still for survival, yeah, but it's like how you cope with not knowing what to do with all of the stuff that is coming up to be healed all the time. If quadrant three, the one could speak, what would it say? Quadrant three. Mm, this is good. Real good. Yes. Okay. Talking to fireflies. This is about following your intuition. Even though she's in the desert, right? Um, Finding and being resourceful by listening to your intuition and your instincts and having your inner light be your best friend. Fruity mukbang is about making healthy choices, like kind of like insisting upon it. Um, it's like you're mothering and nurturing yourself, making healthy choices, focusing on your inner light and your intuition. No matter what has happened in your life, you are still God. You make your life what this is about. You making your life what it is, not letting these situations dictate any of that. Yes, in order for you to manifest something new, you you definitely do have to purge so that you can switch frequency and so that you can have a choice. A lot of times, we intellectually can, or just on the outside, make better and healthier choices. That's the beginning, right? But you only change frequency when you feel better. You have to start feeling better. So this is about you listening to your intuition and to what will make you feel better through the mukbang, eating healthy, choosing better people, um, choosing positive things to watch, choosing to go for a walk instead of flip through your phone. You can flip through your phone while you go for a walk, but surrounding yourself with the frequencies that would actually cultivate the type of inner world that you need so that you can emit, because you're a satellite, you're sending and receiving frequency all the time, and you get out what you're putting, you get back what you're putting out. You're like la, and people are like la, and you're like, I don't like when you say that, and it's like what you said too, you know. I don't like how they said that. Well, I'm going to start saying it differently than la. And then they go, oh, okay, what she say? La, la, no, la. Like you have to train your world by you training yourself first. Okay. So we have magnolia and yellow carnelian, because this is so much about the divine feminine and how ancient, like the magnolia tree, she stands the test of time. The magnolia of Genesis tree, the genus, sorry, it's not Genesis, the genus, the lineage of this tree is one of the oldest trees on earth and has been and seen so much of the earth's history and have made changes to itself in order to adapt to different types of climates. And it's all over the world, and it deserves to be such. She's mother, basically. This represents who you are. The carnelian is about positive, joyful energy, and it helps build confidence in yourself. When you have this type of really deep, ancient, feminine energy within you, you're different. You're different. You stand out. All right. Your dragon day is about you having a dragon history, a dragon history with dragons, um, and them being your protectors. So you, again, this energy of protection, you are highly protected. You have always been protected. You have the hand of God over your life. You have lots of knowledge. You have lots of gifts. You have lots of understanding and wisdom, but you have had to deal in the petty and the superficial and even the relationships, like the things you've gone through, what you've seen, and maybe even situations you're in your life aren't reflecting back to you the unique creative soul, the loving goddess and God that you are. That's what needs to change. It's like you are mature, but on the outside you live in immaturity. You choose immature situations. There's a lack of loyalty to your true self, and that's because of that abandonment. You're learning to stop abandoning yourself. Tuning into and talking to the firefly is about you not abandoning yourself. The fruity mukbang It's about you not abandoning yourself, giving yourself what you need, honoring yourself. This magnolia and carnelian is about you honoring yourself. Your dragon bay here is to let you know that even though you be dabbling, dipping and dabbling in situations around people and attract maybe even dark sided energies, and it looks like you have a history in your family of maybe dark sided spells and all this. You've been protected. You don't have to you're not alone in your quest to be better, because it looks like if you try to leave the people who have abandoned you, they will feel abandoned by you and maybe attack you. This is giving narcissist family vibes, to where if I'm suffering, you're suffering too, and you know better. You don't have to suffer. You know that that's an illusion, and you participate so that you don't make other people feel like you don't love them or something. You don't want other people to feel abandoned the way you have felt abandoned. The lesson, I'm going to speak to this wound for you. The lesson this wound needs to learn so that you can be free is that everyone has their own personal, unlimited resource to God. Everything. This card I pick up is has unlimited energy, has the energy of the unlimited God, the Ain Soft. You don't have to be anyone's guardian like 10 years a slave and watch over them and make sure they get everything they need, because you're dying over here as far as like your need to spend time with God yourself, your need to focus on yourself, your need to focus on your light and growing it, cultivating it, you know, eating healthy and figuring out how to do that if you're not accustomed to it, or getting back into it. You know how much energy it takes to keep up one person, yourself? A lot. But it gets easier when you get into that state of well-being and you allow yourself to focus on it for long periods of time. Then you have something to offer. It just might be for a little while to where you can't be there for people. You have to decide. This is about you honoring yourself as sacred, taking that time, no matter if you feel like you're um too old or whatever that means to be or do whatever it is you feel like you don't have time to do. You do. You have to give it to yourself. You ain't even ask God to slow down time for you. That's how powerful you are. You are unlimited. You have access to the unlimited sky of life. And all you really need to do is focus on it. That's how simple it is to to talk to God, and to realize you can't be abandoned. That abandonment is an illusion. Because if you always have your creator, which created everything and everyone, then these things are just stories. And we are putting our spin on it and our emotions into it in whatever way that you would like to look at it, that's how it's going to be for you. But you can look at it like these are lessons that I came here to learn and experience, or figure that out, or or these are lessons that I thought and I have to experience in order to learn these lessons, but I don't really need it because I now understand who I am, what I am, and I can move forward from that. If you're interested, you can join us on Patreon for the 15-day meditation. Month is monthly. Um, it starts on the 15th of every month. You can sign up and we will meditate for 15 minutes a day on our own and then get together and to work on like a worksheet, a specific theme, topic, or it can be abstract. Whatever comes out, I allow things to be just the way they are. No need to control anything. But yeah, I enjoyed reading for you. I hope this reading assisted you. There's a lot of here. Great. You know, that just means you have a full life. You'll never run out of things to learn and do. Not a dull moment for you. Mwah. I love you. I'll see you next time. We're moving on to quadrant number four. Four. All right. Which is the knees to the feet. I also forgot to say I wanted to add the skin, the nervous system, the bones here as well, the insides of things. Okay, so let's clear out the energy from the last session. Hmm. Quadrant number four. What do we have here? I have to go to the bathroom. I've been reading for almost 2 hours now. Give me a. Alrighty. Quadrant number four. If your wounds could speak, what would they say? Sleeping on me, laughing at me, making fun of me. So whoever chose this quadrant, it looks like your wounds are they feel picked on, made fun of. It looks like you are quite unique, to say the least. You dance to the beat of your own drum, and you like it. You know, in the other quadrants, people were having a hard time coming into terms, into the light, and letting others see their unique self. And you never have had that. You wear it as a badge of honor that you're different, that you're unique. You let your freak flag fly, and you are a beacon of light and of joy and of hope. But sometimes it can come off to like people think you're a joke, and that really hurts your feelings, and it makes you feel alone and isolated and insecure. Okay, let's get into it. Quadrant four, if your wounds could speak, what would they say? Yeah, you don't fit into society. You don't fit in, or at least you don't feel like you do. What I'm seeing is that this is an old wound, and although it does need to speak and be acknowledged and be seen and heard and loved up on. Society has changed, and it's because of people like you. There is space for you. Yeah, there's definitely more than ever before. There definitely can be more progress made. I just feel like you're going to speak. So that's what I'm hearing is that now you are in the space where you might be the one working on policy to change things in society, and you are in a phase of being a leader or thinking about becoming a leader, a new type of politician maybe. You go, okay? In making sure that those who are different, those who voice don't usually get heard, you shine a light, or that the light gets shone on that, or you're joining groups that assist with that. Like you are into that type of empowerment. So, okay, animal communication. This is my deck, the Avatar in the City deck. You can find it on my website. Okay, it came out reversed. When this card comes out reversed, usually it means because other people might think you're crazy for the things that you say and see and speak, and that maybe you love animals more than you love people. You know, this could be about animals, and as I say that, this bird is flew clear across my window. I love the birds around here. They're so funny to watch. Um, you really enjoy animals more than you uh like being around people. People might think that's weird and strange. You're an advocate for animals. Um, you might be like a Dr. Doolittle type where you can intuitively speak to animals telepathically, or I don't know, maybe you understand their language. You could be an animal healer, or like a Reiki healer. And if you're not, these things might come across your path sometimes, and you might not know what to do with it. Is what I'm picking up. It's like, well, I love animals that much, but how does one become an animal psychic or something like that? Because it looks like you have that type of connection to animals. Um, Rainbow tightrope, and then skilled swords woman reverse next to the animal communication. Wow. That looks to me like you have to. It's like you have a low tolerance and low patience for the BS of this world, and you have to really fight hard and hold back your tongue, and so that you don't get into disruptive spats with other people, but it looks like you do anyway. And the rainbow tightrope is about you finding a way to be positive and to stay on the straight and narrow path, um, and be loving towards yourself, towards others, even especially when it's hard. Okay? It's like you know that you are a higher being, and that part of being a higher being is to spread love. And our world is full of many different types of characters, and everyone deserves a space to be heard. And you know that very well because you have felt like you haven't had a space to be heard, and you've had to make one for yourself. So even if people are ignorant, I look at it like this: the divine allows it. Who am I to veto it? And so most of the time when something is triggering for us, we're looking at it in the wrong way. It's really an opportunity for us to learn more about ourselves, how to love ourselves first. Because say someone is breaking your boundaries and maybe speaking poorly about animals in a way that's not cool with you, or behind the times, archaic or whatever. Um, ask going within and asking your guides, your spirit team for assistance, for discernment of how, when, who, where, all those things are important when it comes to love, and human interaction. It just is. And so just because you're ready to spit fire and cut people a new one doesn't mean it's the right time, the right place, the right way. Okay? That looks like a lesson for you. And I know maybe people haven't been so kind to you, you know, but you're looking to rise out of that energy. And so, in order to rise out of the energy, you can't be just like it. That's a hard lesson. But everyone that is on a higher frequency of knowingness of love has to learn that lesson here. That's like you're surrounded by kindergartners and you are in university class of love. All right. So the black sheep and the llama. Not surprised that this card came out for you, my dear, and it's underneath animal communication. And it also came out reversed. The black sheep and the llama is about someone being the black sheep and they're out in the world searching for their soul tribe, and they think that they found like-minded people like the llama. And the reason why I use a llama because it looks like a sheep, but it's not even related to the sheep. It's related to camels, right? And so the black sheep goes through its like um adventure to find its true tribe and its true home, and it ends up finding it in unlikely places and wanting to be known, wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard. And since this came out reversed, um, honestly, it looks like you feel like you don't belong anywhere and that no one can relate to you. And I'm only saying that because it could go either way where you feel fine by yourself and you in your own skin and you have found that you can get along with anyone, or it could go to a place to where you feel scarcity, like no one is my tribe. I don't trust anyone. Everyone is stupid. And I'm only saying that because underneath that card is the blizzard. So the blizzard is about having a scarcity moment and making the best out of it. Like these kids playing in the snow, finding a way to have fun with it. That's what you're supposed to do. You are the unique one, the independent thinker. I'm the other readings, it was more compassion because they were more sad. You're more on fire. So I'm talking to you with more, like you have more energy to offer. Okay. I do have compassion for you and your room of being unique and not feeling like you fit in anywhere, being bullied, being picked on. But it looks like you have um got a good amount of your life force energy intact. And you are in a place that you're out in the world and you're dealing with it, and you're doing a great job because being unique, being the independent thinker, being different in this society has never been easy for anyone. And to show up in the world as who you are, I'm proud of you. That takes a lot of courage. So the wounds that come up to be healed is okay. You're not doing anything wrong. It's you, and this is for everyone, any quadrant. Whenever you get triggered, the key to not getting sucked into that frequency and just having a snowball effect, and that's all you feel, all you see, you obsess about it, is to take a step back and love yourself. Go be around energies, animals, people that make you only feel acceptance and love for a while. You know, call up your childhood mentor or something. That's what I do. And that only sees the good in you and gives you great encouragement, advice, like you're a little child. Like you're doing a great job. I'm so proud of you. Like when you feel hit in the foot chakra here, where you feel your biggest wounds or whatever in your knees or your bones or your nervous system and you feel don't go aggravating it by fighting and trying to use your swords and I don't know, activating like mode because this is going to aggravate you even more, aggravate the situation. Whenever I get triggered now, and it has to do with someone else on the outside of me seemingly, I go within and I ask for the highest and best good resolution for everyone. The answer might not come to me as fast as I want, so that because I be wanting to be free. Because when you feel good and then something comes in and you feel like a hit, you want to get rid of it as soon as possible. You go in a panic mode and you're ready to like get in someone's ass for getting you out of your peaceful zone after you work so hard to get into it. I get it. But the best way is to take a step back, go do your affirmations, your journaling, your meditations, spending time at the beach, in the mountains, in the forest, on a rock, in a stream, under a waterfall, all of the above. Eat healthy. Just start doing a lot of self care because that will insulate you and protect your energy. And whenever you're in that high frequencies like that, it's really hard for negativity to stick. Okay. All right. Crown chakra activation. So, like I said before, you, darling, are already the one. You know it. You feel it. Your superpowers are activating. You might be getting to know even more powers that are coming in line on the line. You might be feeling a lot of tingles in your crown chakra right now. Um, you might be getting a lot of downloads, and because you definitely are, because underneath it is the owl and labradorite. So your dreams are are giving you symbols. Your waking world is giving you oracles. You are in the depth of inner knowing, and you are psych. It looks like you're a psychic person. That you're a reader. You're a healer. And it also looks like the reason why you get so upset is because you can see clear through everything, and you can see what to say, what wounds other people have. You have to be careful with that. Okay. You have to only use it for good because, see, what ends up happening here, I'm seeing is that people start picking at you and calling you crazy because you're so sharp. Okay. You might hurt other people. You might become the bully, is what I'm saying. And you're not a bully. I'm not going to label you. But that's the thing here. This is what we're learning. We have to also be careful about labeling people as even a sensitive folk. You can't go around pointing the finger and labeling people as things because those energies end up sticking to us. That's a big lesson. It's a lesson for the big girls and the big boys. And I'm really talking to low levels here of people who are just in getting to class, to the first grade. I'm talking to the ones that know we are all one. This is what we're getting at here with this crown chakra activation. Once you get to your crown chakra activation, honey, it's a whole new school. And you're out of the sandbox to where we're flinging sand back and forth at each other. You know that. You know somebody flings sand at you, you get out of that sandbox immediately and you go clean yourself off and you go get in a whole nother sandbox because that doesn't even matter. You can pick your frequency. You can pick and you don't label that person as a sand thrower for like the rest of their life. Because say you made that mistake of thinking and believing in illusions that this person is separate from me, right? Because the reason why you're kind and you love is because you know nothing is separate from me. You have that knowledge. Other people are thinking and breathing and living in a false belief system, and they think it's true. They think it's true. They know it's not true deep down, trust, but they think it's true right now, and they're projecting it, especially onto to people who, because they look at us and be like, "Oh, you think you're above it all? Oh, you don't think you have to suffer?" And so then they become a demon to us, right? Because they're like dead set on trying to get us to experience something that we're not wanting to experience because we don't really have. So how dare you put on me what you think you should experience? That's my choice. Okay. And so then we can get stay in those frequency longer when we start like, now this is a bad person who is attacking me. And I just get right, we get into it and we stay and it becomes a thing when really you shouldn't take it seriously. You just go anyway and you go talk to somebody else. Seriously. Like it's like nothing. Nothing's happening. It's superficiality a lot of times where someone is looking at things from the outside. It's not deep. It's not personal. And this is what you're learning. All right, moving on. Composting. You're learning to take what we were just talking about, trash, and make it something that is nourishing. That's what you know how to do. Keep doing that. If people are, because I'm seeing people are trash talking you, figure out a way to turn it into something good. You're not really confident in that. The solar plexus card reverse. So, okay, you really do spiral out in this wound when people campaign against you. And I'm telling you why it goes on for longer than it should. It's because you kind of feed into it by your reaction. You have to find. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. So, um, me and my roommate don't see eye to eye with silly, stupid stuff in the house. Like she, I'll take out the trash like twice, and then when it gets full again, I'll leave it for her to take out, but she'll like let it get so full that the lid doesn't close. That annoys. I, I can't, right? So I asked my guides, my spirit team, the best way for me to handle it, and it took a few days for them to get back to me, or maybe it took a few days for me to be in receiving mode to hear it. But they were like, "Get your own trash can," because I started taking my trash and throwing it away, and because the big trash can outside, and then throwing it out myself, my trash, that's all to that. See, but you, I know that's silly and simple. And is I could look at it like she's doing it on purpose, and she has issues because to me, that's what I want to go there with it because that's so. But now that I have the solution that is peaceful for everyone, I feel a whole lot better. Like it's not something that is aggravating me, and I feel like I have to come home and I'm like, I'm gonna end up picking up the trash again, and I'm nobody's maid. Urgh. You know, um, and I don't want to say anything about anything. I want people feel comfortable in their own home to do things when they would normally do it, how they would do it. She doesn't have to live to please me or whatever. And so that's why I always ask, because no one's here to live for each other's peace and happiness. I have to tap into my own energy and figure out what is that and what that looks like, how to do that, how much it's going to cost, all that myself, for myself. Okay. So these issues look way bigger than that, seemingly, but I'm just giving that to you just in case you're rolling your eyes at me. Like, "Dude, this is nothing like that." Okay, fine. I get it. I was just giving you some wisdom, so that you could possibly have a change of, because it honestly looks like you need to figure out a way, tap into your energies here with your spirit team, with your crown chakra activation and your owl and labradorite, and talk to your animal friends. It's like you have a lot of support here, right? But we always will focus on where we don't have it because we're like the princess and the pea child. It's like that pea is bothering me. I am on top of 12 mattresses. I have a million gifts. I can read auras. I can read chakras. I'm a healer. I'm rich. I am a politician. I'm the mind. And they're all picking on me, right? We have to find the peace. So spirit is like, give me the peace and let me. I always have the most loving solution. You stop fighting or stop running away, hiding, whatever. Spirit will help you. Tap into it. All right, cool. Um, like I told the other quadrants, you are free to sign up on my Patreon for our our 15 days of meditation on the 15th of every month on my Patreon. And if you would like personal sessions with me, you go to my website. If you would like to purchase my beautiful Avatar in the City deck that I really love so much that I'm making like two more, um, go to my website. It's in the description, hayabellene.com. Love you. Peace.